Now, look at this text, which is an extract from a personal essay and was published in 2022. Let me tell you again that planning is very important while you are responding to this kind of question, or you can say language and self question in exams. So, look at the question first. It says that language can shape and reflect. The main thing here is the language can shape and reflect how individuals think about themselves first and then others as well. So, the first step of your planning is to take care that your response discusses how language shapes and reflects individual thoughts about themselves and others as well, as it is mentioned in the question. And then you identify the main points from the text. After this identification, you connect these points to relevant linguistic theories. And then you need to structure your response to address each point with first the theoretical support and then the textual example. You can see example from the text or the examples from your wider understanding. The title says Generation Amazing How We're Training Language of Its Power. In the first paragraph, the writer says, I scheduled my pet for the veterinarian appointment. The person who answered my phone was friendly enough and greeted me warmly. It means that the author just liked to make an appointment, and the person who was on the other side of the phone gave the remarks, gave the comments like wonderful, excellent. Means the author says, I was surprised anyone could be so over the moon about making an appointment for the pet. Means when you are making an appointment for the pet, you're not expecting such words like wonderful, excellent. So the point you can make here is that the words like wonderful and excellent, they no longer carry their original weight. It means they're losing their meaning here right now because they're overused. Then we have a conversation between two parents at the park. One asks that, "What are your children's name?" And the other person shares the name of the kids. And then the response is that, or responses are that really amazing. That's so beautiful, just beautiful. How did you choose the name like that? I mean, it's weird that you cannot. I mean, you simply listening to the names of the kids. You are just giving such remarks. So here the author is illustrating this point that words like these amazing, excellent, or wonderful, they no longer carry the original weight now. He's giving examples as well. First, for, the wet example, and now the parents they're talking about the kid's name. And this is called semantic bleaching. Semantic means meaning, and bleaching means removal or gone, something lost. So here, the repetition of the words, of the strong evaluative words, they lose their original impact. Now, the author claims that the words like amazing, wonderful, incredible, fantastic, we throw them around, means they were once meant to convey a certain level of magnitude. It is written in your text that they are no longer carry their original weight. So this idea that the words they lose their original meaning, you can link this idea to Boroditsky theory on language and thought. If our language increasingly, or the words we use in our daily life, it relies on hyperbole or exaggeration, you can say, for routine work, our perception of what truly the word amazing, wonderful, incredible, fantastic are, they may change their meaning then. These linguistic symbols, they're used for expressing your strong emotions, but if you're using them like this, they will become less distinct and they will definitely lose their identity as words, as vocabulary. So you can imagine if wonderful is used for a wet appointment, what other words left to describe truly extra experiences of yours? Then there is something said by Martin Hilpert, who teaches linguistics. And the idea is words with evaluative meanings that lose potency, as potency means strength or the power, as speakers apply them to more and more situations. For example, toilet paper, which is soft enough, means can be a fantastic experience for somebody. And the train delayed for 10 minutes, you can call it a disaster. So the idea here, the overuse means we're using such words, some words, more than one situations where they're not needed to be uttered. It can be analyzed to cooperative principles. And what is cooperative principles? When you're highlighting the maxims of quantity, quality, or other stuff. But here you can highlight the maxim of quantity. And I've discussed the same point in the last video as well. So quantity means how much some words are needed or can be used, and when speakers overuse some words, they violate a rule of having an effective conversation with the other person. Because in conversation, there is an expectations that the other person provides information to you. So this constant overuse of words, it's not providing any kind of information. They are not means they are used where they're not needed to be uttered. So it makes it harder for the other person to understand your genuine emotions then. You must have noted that it is written in the question to give examples from your wider study. So you can quote examples of the same idea in the contemporary language too. Means there are words that are undergoing similar semantic bleaching, like the words like awesome, then there's a word literally, and the word actually. For example, awesome is a word which was meant for truly awe inspiring events, but now it is commonly used for trivial matters. Then the word literally, it is frequently used now to emphasize metaphorical statements, and it is expressing its literal meaning. And then there is a word actually, which is often used as a filler word now in your conversation. It forgetting its original function of indicating factual accuracy. So by quoting these examples, you can claim that there is a pervasive nature of semantic bleaching across contemporary English too. So now we are in the position to quote Giles' cat. That is, C stands for communication, A stands for accommodation, and T stands for theory. So communication accommodation theory, where individual consciously or unconsciously they may adopt this kind of hyperbolic or exaggerated language to accommodate themselves to the standard social norms here. So why do they do this? They simply want to fit in with the ongoing communication styles. So this kind of accommodation has a consequence, means it can contribute to the overall dilution of language, where the words they are losing their original meaning. Then there is George Orwell's discussion about language that stale language is both a symptom and the cause of the deterioration of critical thought. Means why are we not thinking critically? Because we are using stale language. Stale language basically means the language that has become unoriginal. So why are we not thinking critical? Because we are using stale language. And why are we using stale language? Because we are not critical thinkers. So the idea here, he writes in the politics and the English language that a speaker who uses tired language has gone some distance towards turning himself into a machine. The appropriate noises are coming out of the livings, but his brain is not involved, as it would be as if he were choosing the words for himself. So here we can quote Chevis' muted group theory, which states that language is not serving everyone equally. While not directly about muted groups here, Orwell's concern about tired language can be seen as a critique of a dominant kind of linguistic style that discourages precise expression. So if language becomes dominated by the cliches and the hyperbole, those that resist this bleached language may be effectively muted or unheard within the overwhelming noise of the exaggerated expression all around. So this article basically it serves as a valuable reminder to be mindful of our own language use, and we must go for precision and authenticity in our expressions.